Hi YouTubers, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my feelings on a subject that's probably a political hot potato, and that's stealth. Now, for me personally, I've done the stealth thing, and I am still doing the stealth thing to my mother. I live two lives. I'll be completely honest and open. I do live two lives and I hate it. When I decided to transition, I knew that I would not be able to tell my mother. And that's due to her being strict Roman Catholic. You know, in her 80s and losing my dad to cancer just as I started transitioning. There was no way I could tell her I was a trans man. And the first time I came out and told her I was a lesbian, she disowned me. So it took quite a while to sort that one out, and eventually, in her own way, she dealt with that and took me back into the fold. So I decided right from the start that I would be in stealth. Now, that was easy because I was a butch lesbian. I dressed very masculinely anyway, and I was always a tomboy, so the times I did wear girls' clothes, it was very, very clumsy and uncomfortable, and it felt terrible. But when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. And so that's why I did it at those times. Anyway, I don't like living in stealth to my mum. I really hate it. But she's very ill. She's waiting for open heart surgery, and it wouldn't be good always round for my mum to find out. Anyway, it means when I go back to my home that I'm called the other person by everyone. I do it for me mum. I let it go over my head because I'll always be that other person to me mum no matter what. But I do find it difficult for me other family. But then they're in the situation where, like me, they know it's an impossibility, so they have to call me the other person as well. Doesn't make it easy for them to transition in their own minds from me being their sister to now being the brother. There's that stone in the pond again, and the ripple effect that it has when we decide to transition. As me in my other life and my family life in a whole, I'm not in stealth, and I'm not in stealth to any of my friends, any of my family. But in my workplace, it's been a very different situation. Because of where I work and the type of people I work with, when I came out as trans to my boss, I did say that I wanted to keep it quiet and that I was just going to, play it out, transition. In law, they weren't allowed to tell anybody anyway, unless I said it was okay to. So I was in stealth, and everybody knew me just as Felix from the time that that decision was made, and anybody new who came into the building knew nothing different, and I was Felix, didn't have a life before as anything else. So the only people who knew about my past were the people who knew me before transition, and they knew me 6 years. So they knew my past, and knew me as the person before as well. So they kept it all quite under tabs, most of the time. So that was good. Post surgery and hormones. Now I'm 2.5 years roughly, or I'll be 3 years post surgery in September. Post surgery, I've battled with the stealth thing in terms of my job. Yes, it is lovely to be anonymous, and it is lovely to just get on and blend in as I can as a trans man to the greater degree. New staff never suss me out unless I choose to tell them. And I've always, as far as scars are concerned, I've always said that I've had an accident and I don't like talking about it. And everybody's been quite respectful with regard to that. And that's been good. Recently, well, I've been thinking about it for a long time. I really, really decided that I don't want to be stealth anymore. I help people in my community along with my partner Helen, and she's never been stealth. She's always been out there. She's always been, since she transitioned 10 years ago, she's always helped, the trans people in the community, in the greater community at large, and LGB and everybody. She'll help anybody. She's a great advocate. And to be honest, like she always says to me, you don't mind if I tell people about you, do you? And I say, no, of course I don't mind if you tell people about me. And she's always said, well, how can you hide if you're with me? Helen's, fully post-operative trans woman, 10 years, and you'd never know, really, with Helen, And she's a marvellous woman. And it always played on my mind, I'm in stealth. I'm helping people, and yet I'm in stealth. How can I be in stealth? How can I be out there truly for trans people if I'm in stealth? Well, I can't at the end of the day. If I want to truly be out there and I want to put a positive angle forward for other trans people who are coming behind me, then I have to not be in stealth. I fully respect anybody who is in stealth because there's so many reasons why people choose to do that, and that is totally their personal choice. Totally. For me, after 5 years of thinking about it nearly now, I've decided I can't be in stealth anymore. To me mum, yes, and God bless her, while she's around on this earth, I will be in stealth to my mother. But once, bless her, that isn't there, and that, reason for me being in stealth is not around anymore, which I dread the day that happens. Then I'll be fully out and I won't be in stealth. I'll be 100% out. And I'll be proud of who I am, and I will be totally proud, as I am now, of being a transsexual male. Now, in my job, I've probably shocked the pants off people who thought I never ever wanted to be out in the public eye, and I never ever wanted to be, out as a transsexual male. But the thing is, how can people accept me for who I am if they don't know who I am, really? I'm just like anybody else. I'm Felix. I'm a man. I'm a transsexual man. But that doesn't make me a pervert. It doesn't make me a freak. It doesn't make me a weirdo. I'm just the same as anybody else. And that's what people have got to open their eyes to, in the end. Although it's never easy. It does mess with people's heads, there's no doubt about that. But everybody out there who knows me knows I'm just like anybody else. Take the label away. Who do you see? You see Felix. You see Helen. You don't see a big light flashing on my head saying tranny. You see Felix. You see me. You see a man. Because that's what you know. You don't know unless you knew me in my past life. And even in my past life, I was a man. Always have been a man. I was just trapped in the wrong body. And that's why I had to sort it out. I had to transition, and I had to make my mind and body come together and be the man I've always been, and be complete, and be honest and open and transparent about who I am, and show people I'm not ashamed, show young people I'm not ashamed, show other young people who are having gender identity problems, sexuality problems, that it's nothing to be ashamed of. We just have to be a bit more patient for other people to catch up with us. But that's life, and that's, going to take a long time of changing, unfortunately. But it's just how it is. So, that's my musings on stealth. And I'm not going to be in stealth anymore. I'm going to be out there. I want to raise awareness. And I want people to know that trans people are not any different to anybody else. We're the same as anybody else. We have lives, we have families, we have jobs, we have children. We just need to correct our bodies and correct that physical thing that was wrong with us when we was born, that birthing defect that left us trapped in the wrong body, living a life that is painful because you're in the wrong body, living a life where you can't be happy, and that's why you need to sort it out. And that's why you need to do this and transition and be happy and be a complete full person. Because when you're stuck and you're not moving forward and you're not becoming the person that you really are inside, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare waiting to happen. And many trans people don't come out the other side. Many trans people kill themselves because of the stresses and strains of having gender identity disorder, of suffering from gender dysphoria, and from not being able to get help to sort it out because of societal constraints. Well, that's my musings on stealth and the reasons why now, except for my mum, that I'm not in stealth anymore. Don't wish to be in stealth anymore. I just wish to be open, honest and transparent about who I am, as much as is possible. So, bye for now, YouTubers, and I'll post again soon with more musings, and if anybody wants to ask me anything, then feel free. You can get in touch with me on Facebook, on YouTube, or at felix.familiar@hotmail.co.uk. Feel free, and I'll answer any questions. Okay, bye for now.